will once again serve at Bassingbourn Barracks in Cambridgeshire. The base was mothballed back in 2012 and later used to train the Libyan army until 2 cadets were convicted of rape. But in a surprise announcement, the Ministry of Defence has confirmed 4 units will be rehomed at the barracks in South Cambridgeshire. The news came as the Defence Secretary Michael Fallon announced 56 military sites would be closed by 2049. For a moment, it looked like Bassingbourn might be one of the bases to bite the dust. That was until the MP for South Cambridgeshire, Heidi Allen, asked for clarification from the Secretary of State.
Can I just clarify my understanding that the barracks in my constituency, Bassingbourn, which has been closed for some time, will now receive Burgoyne Barracks in 2019, RAF Henlow in 2019, Wethersfield in 2020 and Chilwell Station in 21. I understand an email that's literally just come into my phone now. If that's the case, that's an enormous uplift, very welcomed uplift in personnel in Bassingbourn. Please may I have a contact within the MOD so that as a local authority we can start planning education, schools, GP surgeries, etc.
Well, the question was posed to Defence Secretary Michael Fallon. Here was his response.
This is good news for Bassingbourn. I can confirm the gist of what my honourable friend has said. Bassingbourn will be one of the key receiver sites for some of the units that are now going to be on the move. If she would like, she said, a contact inside the Ministry of Defence, I would suggest my honourable friend.
Heidi Allen, the MP for South Cambridgeshire, joins me now. And Heidi, we'll start first of all, very simply, with your reaction to this announcement.
Hi, Dotty. Gosh. Dotty.
Let's start again.
I'm so excited, I can't even remember your name. Of course, it's brilliant news, because for so long people have been worried that the barracks might be shut down. It's been a dreadful waste of a facility just sitting there mothballed for so long. With the good news, of course, my head starts spinning around school places. You know, I only visited the primary school in Bassingbourn on Friday last week to hear from them about how normally they're given very short notice and they've got to ramp up with teachers and ramp down when the barracks shut. So I'm glad we've got some notice, but my goodness, we've got some work to do. There's a lot of people coming to Bassingbourn.
Do you know, Heidi, how many people will be coming?
Not yet, no, and that's why I asked the Secretary of State yesterday for, who should I be talking to get the detail. Because, it could be literally hundreds and hundreds. All I know so far is, I heard you put in your news bulletin this morning, the training facility coming from Burgoyne and Folkestone. We've got more training from Chilwell Station, Nottingham. We've got the band of the Queen's Division coming from RAF Henlow. I might have to get my saxophone out. And the MOD police from Wethersfield. So it's quite a mix. It's all training and kind of admin type roles, I suppose, which is good news. But at this stage, no, I have no idea of numbers, but, I've got some work to do to find that out.
Do you feel that the government would have done well to make an announcement that had a little more detail to it?
If you knew how much I've been pestering Mark Lancaster, the relevant minister, over months, the poor chap, I've not let him sleep. I've been nagging him so much for detail. And what he told me at the time, actually, I have to say, makes sense now. There's clearly a lot of manoeuvring going on the different bases around the country, and Bassingbourn is seems to me the biggest jigsaw piece in that, because so much is closing, moving, and 4 locations coming to us. I can understand now why it took some time. So, that's the broad headline, but yes, some detail would have been nice, but I guess we do have, 2019 is the first when any of these will come to us, so we do have some time to get that detail and get prepared properly.
OK, well, Heidi, stay with us. We're going to have a word with Adrian Dent, County Councillor for Bassingbourn. Morning, Adrian.
Morning, Dotty.
You've been listening to Heidi. Do you agree with her? This is great news for the place?
Yeah, she's stolen all my thunder and talked about all the things that are coming, but yes. And I would like to say that I'd like to thank Heidi. She has worked very hard. And I've been in the background asking her as well. So I know she's not had much sleep from when I've been pestering her. OK, so happy, really, that this has come to fruition, come to a pass? Yes, I mean, as Heidi mentioned, it's been in mothballs for a while. And as you know, previously in the past, Dotty, we've talked about the facilities that are on there, which is all the sports facilities and the use of the runways for different aspects of sports, etc. And we would like to get that open as soon as possible and back for the public to use, including the ski soap.
You've got people who will be coming here from 4 different bases, so there will be work to do, won't there, to help assimilate those people into a local community, to make sure that they are part of a community rather than being based on the barracks as some kind of, some kind of separate ghetto, I suppose. Yes,
but if you look at the past, I've lived in Bassingbourn for 20-odd years, and the barracks were open at that point, and it integrated extremely well. And I think it will again. There was definite loss of, interaction and money being spent in the villages and surrounding towns because of the people who were originally based there.
So what do you think this could mean for Bassingbourn as a village?
It will always have an impact. As an ex-governor of the primary school, which Heidi was talking about, I do know how they struggled with the Bassingbourn barracks numbers. So we do really need to concentrate on the infrastructure and the schools, the doctors, etc., and everything for that. And as Heidi said, 2019, we've got time to plan for it. But I do know that the pan for the school goes up and down like crazy. As governor once suggested that we had a big red LED above the school that had the numbers that we currently had there.
Like above a car park?
Yeah.
Yeah. Heidi, Adrian there saying there is time to plan, which you've said as well. There might be time to plan schools and doctor's surgeries and all that. Is there going to be money?
Well, it's funny, actually. One of the reasons I visited the primary school on Friday was to talk about this ongoing issue with fairer funding. And that was the first thing that kind of worried me. Yes, we're a few years down the line, so the fairer funding model, touch wood, should be in place by then. But all our schools are on the back foot. I think of schools, predominantly, but of course the same applies to GPs. But our schools are on the back foot already because of the poor funding over years. And just to expect them to just up the numbers of teaching, we find difficulty in teacher recruitment as well. It's going to be hard. I'm running an initial teacher training event later this month, actually, to try and encourage more teachers to do their training in Cambridgeshire, and we're going to follow up with a teacher recruitment fair in the spring. So that it's good that those things are in train. But yes, we're going to have to make sure we've got the resources to do this. And no worries at all, I'll be going cap in hand to the government if I need to, because, this is a big ask of the local community, and it's absolutely right that we get the facilities to deliver it properly.
So in terms of next steps, what can we expect?
Well, I'm going to, I think probably the best thing is we've got a little mini recess this week. We break from Parliament today. We've got just 3 days away, but we're back again on Monday. I'm going to try and get a meeting, I think, a proper sit-down meeting with Mark Lancaster, the Minister at the MOD, and say, right, come on, who do I talk to? Who's the detail person? There must be somebody who's going to be in charge from an MOD point of view to get the barracks up and ready for these new arrivals, and I want to know who that person is. And Adrian and I and the local district councillors, David and Nigel, I'm sure we will sit down. I want to get all the community people together. Right, what do you need to know so that I can go and ask those questions?
OK, well, thank you for joining us this morning. That's Heidi Allen, who is the Conservative MP for South Cambridge.